Welcome to Vastavam Health Hour. Today we have Dr. Sudhakar Jonnalagadda, President of AAPI, and Satheesh Kathula, Treasurer of AAPI. Let's talk to them and find out about the organization AAPI and different services of that organization. Welcome Dr. Sudhakar Jonnalagadda and Satish Kathula to Vastavam Health Hour. So let me first congratulate you, Dr. Sudhakar, upon your election as President AAPI. Congratulations, Dr. Satish, for your election as Treasurer AAPI. Before talking about AAPI and its services, can you please give us your introduction, like where are you from in India, your education, a few details about your family and your professional profile?
I born in Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, and where my father was a physician, mother was a teacher, and my siblings are all physicians. Actually, mine is like a physician family. And after graduating from elementary and primary education, I went to Rangaraya Medical College, Kakinada. I did my medical school. And after finishing medical school, I went to Africa, West Africa, Nigeria. I worked as a medical officer in Nigeria. And after that, I got a diploma in surgical in Vienna, Austria. Then I went to Vienna, and after finishing a diploma there, and I came to United States and started my career here as a research fellow in Brooklyn, Memorial Medical Center, Brooklyn. Then from there, I got residency in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, internal medicine. Then after that, I like liver. Then I went to University of Miami, I did my liver fellowship. Then after liver fellowship, I back to Pittsburgh, I did a transplant because Pittsburgh is one of the world renowned center in the world actually for the liver transplantation. So I did that. Then after that, I went to gastroenterology fellowship in Augusta, Medical College of Georgia. And after finishing fellowship, I have opportunity to go to Hamburg, Germany, for therapeutic procedures in advanced endoscopy procedures. And I went there and did the advanced therapy fellowship there. Then came to Georgia and started practicing 25 years ago in Douglas, which is a rural area of Georgia actually. And my wife, a physician, she's a family medicine, she's a Dr. Uma Maheshwari, and she's practicing in the same town. And my son is Viren, he's a 24-year-old, he's in medical school, third year medical school. That's a short bio of mine. And I think, since then, since I was in practice, very active involved in the state chapters called Georgia Association of Physicians from Indian Origin in Georgia State. Then I became a president of the state chapter. Then I interested in going to national AAPI. Then became regional director of the South. Then went to board of trustees. Then went into treasurer. The secretary, vice president, and become president now. So that's what my brief my journey.
Wow, that's awesome profile, Dr. Jonnalagadda. It's a long journey with great achievements. Thank you for sharing with us. Okay, can you please share your experiences or challenges that you faced when you initially came to this country?
Definitely, it is I don't have any godfather, okay, and in the sense, I don't have any family here. I did everything by myself, but I have a very good friend, he used to live in New York, he really helped me a lot, okay, in the beginning of my career. And after that, always, somebody do not have any family, they have issues of finances, okay, which obviously I went through. And I overcome, again, focus is very important. If you focus, you succeed. That's what determined to do that, which I did. I succeeded. Yeah.
Dr. Satish, can you please give us your introduction?
Yeah, so my name is Satish Kathula. I'm actually from Warangal district. It's a small town called Mulugu, which was a taluka center. Now it's a district headquarters. Recently, it became a district in the last 1 year or so. So I went to school there. I did my high school and college, junior college and everything there. And then I went to Siddhartha Medical College for MBBS. And after I finished my MBBS, I came to United States. I did not do any training in India, more advanced training there. And after I came here, I was in Chicago for 2 years and I did research in pulmonology. And I came to Dayton in 1996. At that time, I did residency here and followed by hematology oncology fellowship. And after I finished fellowship, I joined a group here, and I've been with a private practice for the last 18 plus years. And I'm a faculty with Wright State University. I'm a clinical professor of medicine. And I've been in Dayton for the last 25 years, and this is like a hometown. So back home, my family background is not, what should I say, not so educated, but my father is a businessman. My mother is a homemaker. So they both really instilled a lot of values in me. They both encouraged me to study well, and they said education is everything. If you are educated well, you can do anything in the world. So they were really encouraging, and they are the reason why I'm here today. And coming to my family here, I did not have anybody when I came here. Well, my wife was here before I came here. She was kind of brought up here, I should say. She came here when she was 14. And by that time, she was here by 9 to 10 years. And it wasn't too bad of a transition for me because she was very familiar with the system, and she was helpful in actually, guiding me and things like that. And, after I came here, fortunately, I did not go through any difficulty financially also because she was working, and it was, not great, but we survived. And after that, I did, the residency and fellowship and everything, as I said. So we have two children, and one is in medical school right now. He finished first year. And the second one is in college. He's just finished his sophomore year, and he's going to be in junior year soon. So that's my background.
Wow, that's a really inspiring, successful story, Dr. Satish. Thanks for sharing with us today. Dr. Sudhakar, American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin, right? AAPI. So can you please tell us when was that organization started and how?
AAPI started 40 years ago in the state of Michigan, Detroit, actually, by a small group of Indian doctors, just to fight against discrimination. In those days, Indian community is very small, okay? So they're facing a lot of discrimination about residencies and the hospital also. So they have decided to do this organization. From there onwards, it's grown so big until now. Now we are representing almost more than 100,000 doctors in this country, United States, that including fellows, residents, and medical students. And AAPI is second largest physician organization in the United States and number one ethnic organization in the USA. So we are pretty strong, vibrant, and we are very fortunate that, we are part of the organization.
Oh, that's very nice to know the history of AAPI. So how many members do you have in our organization, sir?
Members, about 15,000 life members. And, some are dual members, but life members are 15,000. That's a pretty good number for us. Yeah.
Oh, so do you have different types of memberships in AAPI?
We have 3 different sections. One is the physicians license. And number 1 is the young physician section, the medical student section. All 3 pretty good, very vibrant, and very active with the young physicians and medical student residents.
Dr. Sudhakar, usually a doctor's life is very hectic. You can't spend much time with your families also, right? What motivated you to become a member of AAPI?
AAPI is a great platform for networking, okay? See, I live in a small town in rural Georgia, okay? How I know Dr. Kathula? He's in Dayton, Ohio, okay?
Yeah.
This AAPI give you a big platform for networking, okay? No, I can call Dr. Kathula if I have a question, problem, I say, hey, I have a problem, okay? You'll take care of it because of it's a family, it's a big family, I can say. So that's professional family. It's a great platform for networking. That's what really interested me joining the organization. Yeah.
Okay.
So what about you, Dr. Satish? What's the inspiration behind your services to AAPI?
I just want to share with you some of my experience, Sandy. So, the first meeting I have ever attended in this country, a medical conference, was AAPI meeting back in 1995. So I was in Chicago at that time, preparing for my exams and residency and things like that. At that time, one of my uncles, who is a physician, he took me to this conference, AAPI conference, and at that time, President Bill Clinton came as a chief guest. So I was really impressed with the organization at that time.
Very nice.
A president of the United States coming to the meeting is not a small thing. It's a big deal.
That's correct, right?
So, and after that, it really, made me involved in AAPI organizations at local level and state level and then regional level. I served as a local president, chapter president, and then I served as a state chapter president. We founded a state chapter of Indian doctors here in Ohio. And after that, I did regional director for 2 years for AAPI. And then, after that, I did board of trustees for 3 years. And recently I got elected as treasurer with everybody's support. And like Dr. Jonnalagadda was saying, it is a big family. And we develop a lot of relationships. And I can really tell you that I have friends in every state. And I can call them for anything. If I have a friend who is not doing well, if they need some medical help or something, I can pick up a phone and then I can call them and they are there to help me. Nice. It is a nice feeling. Not only that, there are so many things that we can do through this organization. It has a great potential. We do this Capitol Hill meeting twice a year at least in Washington, D.C. And 25 to 30 congressmen and several senators come to meet us to discuss healthcare related issues. So also AMA knows our potential too, and they are partnering with us in many things. For example, H1 visa processing, fast tracking for the doctors who are on H1 visas, things like that. So there's a huge potential if it is steered well in the right direction. So that's why I'm very attracted to this organization. And it's not only a social organization, but it is a cultural as well as an educational type of organization. We educate people as much as we can, and then political too, to really bring some good changes in healthcare, not only for physicians, but also for patients and things like that. And as an Indian physician organization, it's not just to serve just ourselves, but it is to serve broader range of people. If we do help with some legislation, it's not only helpful for Indian doctors, but it is helpful for all the doctors across the nation. And we also try to do a lot of things in India, like Global Health Summit and things like that. And we have charitable clinics there, which are run by AAPI. So all these things are done through AAPI, and it's endless. I mean, the sky's the limit with what we can do this with the organization.
So you just shared your experiences and challenges that you faced initially when you came to this country. Are there any services or activities from AAPI to help young doctors who come from India and try to settle down here in USA?
Most important thing, actually, we just mentioned, we are working on getting residents to get H1 visas, convert to green card. That's one of the things we are working right now. And you are talking about 400 doctors are right now in the US waiting on H1 green card. You all know that, after once you issue H1 visa, you had to get a green card in 21 years. With the current plan, there's no way you can get in 21 years, If you don't get in 21 years, you have to go back to the country of origin, The children also. So it's going to be difficult, but AAPI is working very hard with those H1 visa looking for a green card, and what service we are doing. And also we are, during my year, I'm going to work with the legislators, the lawmakers, see if we can increase the residency slots, which is very important because rural areas still, we need a lot of more doctors in this country, For that, we need to have more residency slots so that you can bring more doctors to serve the rural area. So one of the projects we're going to work on that. We're talking to the legislators, increase the medical residency slots. And these are the activities we're going to plan in the coming year.
So Dr. Satish, are there any activities or services from AAPI to support the communities in these pandemic times?
A lot of things we have done through this organization. We educated a lot of physicians with webinars. We probably have done about 40 to 50 webinars in the last few months. And that actually brought a lot of very good speakers, very well reputed doctors from all over the country. And we had these webinars like once or twice a week. And we educated several physicians because it was so uncertain. We did not know how to treat these patients, but we got some good physicians from all over the country. And that's one thing we have done for physicians. And for, for patients, Indian patients especially, those who are stuck here without any insurance, go back home. And those who had medical problems, our doctors actually helped them with prescriptions and things like that. We helped thousands of patients. And not only that, we did a virtual seminar recently because we wanted to avoid all these social contact and things like that, physical contact. So that's why we converted everything to virtual, and we are doing everything virtually nowadays, to really, control this disease. And we are educating people too. We even wrote to the White House in the beginning to shut down the whole country, because of the potential for spread. And then we also recommended wearing masks in the first part of this pandemic. And then they later on adopted that. But we have done, our share, more than our share, I should say, whatever we have done in the past. This year has been very eventful for us, and we have done many more activities. And we want to do more like community outreach, like Dr. Jonnalagadda was mentioning. So we will be doing more and more in future.
So how do you organize all these activities? Do you have multiple chapters in AAPI?
Yeah.
Yes, we do have more than 135 chapters which are registered chapters in the whole nation. These are all local chapters, which are, most of them are affiliated with AAPI. They are member chapters, we call. And we work through them. For example, we have done what is called Nurses Appreciation Week. So it was a week, but we did that for more than a month. So we appreciated nurses with lunches. AAPI supported 25, 250, something like that. And then, the local chapters actually participated actively to go to the hospitals and to deliver lunches, things like that. In 40 states, more than 100 hospitals, AAPI has done that, the Nurses Appreciation, because nurses are always underappreciated. And this time we have done that through local chapters. So that is a very successful thing we had. And not only that, we distributed PPE to local chapters this time. So that also was a very successful thing because they were not getting any personal protective equipment, even with money, because everything was, running short. So that's why we got hold of all these companies and then did, deliver all this PPE and things like that. Spent thousands of dollars for the local chapters, whichever is, affected the most. We prioritized, which chapter should be getting that. So we not only got help from local chapters this year, but we helped them too. So to answer your question, yes, we do have a lot of people on the ground to help us out. This is not just executive committee or board of trustees. We are there just to lead, but we need soldiers, foot soldiers, and we do have plenty of them, and we are blessed with that.
What's the structure of your organization, Dr. Sudhakar? Do you have an executive team, board, etc.?
We have actually the main structure is executive committee that includes president-elect, vice president, and secretary and treasurer. Along with we have regional directors for depending on the state area, regional director that consists of executive committee. And after that, we have another called board of trustees. Board of trustees, is a chair and board of trustee members. They want to take care of the money aspect actually, and they look at the money and they'll give some money for executive committee to run the offices actually.
Okay.
After that, young physician section and medical student section. Okay. There are two different sections, but they come on the young physician section actually, MSRP. We have broadly you have three kind of structures actually: executive committee, board of trustees,
Okay.
and young physician section. Three.
Nice.
So they are the thing, and we work very cohesively and hand to hand. And what are the events we work with together and make it successful. That's what.
So, Dr. Sudhakar, what's your vision as president of AAPI?
Goals, I during my acceptance speech, I told them, most important. For the first time, I'm introducing a clinical observership program where children coming from India offshore, well, they need to get some experience, how the US experience, and they're going to work with the local physician and in their offices, see how the number one is bedside manner is very important. Okay, and children coming from outside country. First of all, language is also a big issue. They have to understand the patient English, and with this way, they can able to have some experience and talking to the physicians and patient, and learn the bedside manners, and and get a letter from the AAPI so that they can apply during residency. And that letter may help them. But not that we are going to promise them residency, but this way, it helps them to get into residency because of the experience they have in this country. That's one important thing I'm playing. And also, I'm offering 20 hours free CMA credits to our members, like a membership benefit. The first time we're offering, and I'm planning to do a PAC, AAPI PAC, which is help for the work with the political action committee. And when you do the legislations, if
Right.
you want to do anything done, we have to go through the PAC. That's very important. We have the PAC, but it's not very active. I'm going to energize the PAC this year. And we have a Global Healthcare Summit in Visakhapatnam in 2021 January. We are planning to do first time in our state of Andhra Pradesh, become the first president of new state of Andhra Pradesh. So we're going to do it in Visakhapatnam, where we're going to implement liver disease awareness. Very important. India has a lot of liver diseases unaware. They don't know what's going on. So this project will help them to aware, how to take care of themselves. We have a liver disease and education and treatment also. I talked to the health minister of Andhra Pradesh, and we're going to work with them, and also Telangana states, and also the health minister of India. So it's help us see, for example, hepatitis B, one of the disease, a lot of patients suffering hepatitis B, but they don't know that they have a disease because, this is a very subtle disease until they become chronic, So these are the things, to help them if you educate them, so they understand what's going on with them, So this is one of the projects I'm going to take during my year, actually. Yeah. And we have, go ahead.
Good.
And we have a, AAPI, not only academics, and also we have a social, we do a lot of social activities that include we're going to Japan, hopefully, in April of next year, for our members and families, like a family cruise trip. And my annual convention, hopefully in Orlando, in July 4th weekend. And that is a big event we always do during any president
That's
term.
nice. Okay, that's nice. Thank you. So, Dr. Satish, what are your plans as treasurer of AAPI for this year?
Basically, to increase the funds as much as we can, and also maintain the accounts in a transparent way, and to really show these to the AAPI members. We want to be accountable and responsible with accounts, and show them everything what we are doing. That's one thing. And then the other thing is to work with Dr. Jonnalagadda, who is the president, who has a great vision, and we'll be helping him as executive committee, to steer this in the right direction. And he's a great leader, and we are so happy to work with him.
Dr. Satish, you have so many plans. You are organizing so many services. But how do you get the funds for all these services? Is it just funds raised within the organization, or do you have any external sources?
No external sources. Our main fundraising is a convention. Okay. So we can able to raise some funds during the convention. Unfortunately, this year convention is cancelled because this is a big impact on our organization financially. Okay. But luckily we have some efficient board of trustees, account, where, I think they're doing well so far, So we can able to manage our office expenses, but we don't have much liberty to spend, So hopefully, as Dr. Satish mentioned, hopefully we'll do some kind of fundraising if possible this year, and hopefully the convention will be successful, and hopefully that will bring us some revenue. We have another very active wing in AAPI called Charitable Foundation, which is headed by Dr. Surendra Purohit this year, and they are the one funding the clinics in India through their revenue. Whatever the money they get from the Child Foundation, we're going to give it to the 17 clinics actually. And I am very much interested to open another clinic in Andhra Pradesh, hopefully the Guntur or that area, so that we can serve the needy people. The Charitable Foundation is how they generate the money. They generate by the donations actually. So that's where the revenue comes in. So I think hopefully me and Dr. Purohit and the current POT chair, Dr. Sajani Shah, will work hand to hand, and hopefully this year is going to be a great year. Hopefully we'll accomplish what we want to do, and make the organization proud.
So Dr. Jonnalagadda, what's your message to the next generation doctors who wants to come here from India and settle down in US?
It's always there is a hope. This is a great country for medicine. I still believe the education is great here, and if anybody interested, they should consider coming here. There's nothing wrong in it. But again, India also developing pretty good. In all aspects of the medical field, and most of the doctors there, they do a pretty good job now. I'm talking to them. They may have a little bit one or two questions, but pretty much they are pretty much par. What they're doing there. So, but again, if anybody want to get higher studies, sure, we welcome that. And AAPI will be there to help them. If they are interested, to come to this country to get some experience. As I mentioned, a clinical observership program we're initiating, and always welcome. Yeah.
Dr. Satish, I heard about politics of AAPI. So some people say that there are so many politics within the organization. Is that a fact?
It's a fact, but again, every organization has some politics. I mean, even local chapters and local any organization is with politics. I mean, without politics, nothing moves.
Right.
It's basically the matter of difference in the perspective.
That's right.
So different people have different perspectives, and that's what perceived as politics. But it is how we maneuver. I mean, to do a bigger thing, to make an impact, how do we really deal with these politics is an important thing. Politics is not necessarily bad. Without politics, the world doesn't move. The politics, unfortunately, has a bad connotation.
Yeah.
But if you really think about politics, I mean, there is a political science, for that matter. So it is always people who want to talk bad about any organization, they can talk bad about that anytime. And one excuse they give is, painting that with politics type thing. But I'm a very positive person, and I think I see things way beyond politics. And I always focus on, what we can do to move the organization forward in the right direction. So that's what we have to focus on, leaving these politics behind. So in AAPI, it's so unique that we have people from all over the country back home, like we have South Indians, North Indians, West Indians, East Indians. It's a mix of everybody, different cultures, different perspectives, different languages. And when we come here, everybody has their own organization, their own little group they feel comfortable with, which is fine, which is the human nature. But how we can all work together, that's why we need the right people to lead this in the right direction.
Yep.
So politics is there, but I think we can do much more than that, and people should get involved more, leaving behind the politics perception, and then help us help them. It's the name of the game for any organization, and I think we have to develop some thick skin at times to really deal with these things. And as I said, focus on positive things and do good things. People will like it.
Well said, Dr. Satish. Yes, I agree. There are no bad politics or good politics. Politics are to manage the people. Yes, I'm with you.
Nice.
Thank you, Dr. Jonnalagadda and Dr. Kathula, for giving me your valuable time for discussion today with Vastavam. I wish you all the best for your new roles in AAPI. Thanks again.
Thanks for having us.